Hey everyone, I'm here on the first day of the Hearthstone Winter Championships, joined by the most infamous man in Hearthstone. Is that a fair statement, Reynad?
I'm definitely the best looking.
The best looking. Some would say infamous, one person would say best looking, and I'm here with him right now.
At least two people would say best looking.
Okay, who's the second?
I don't know. I'll find someone.
You'll find someone. You'll pay them with that money that you're getting from all the esports stuff. That's how they're looking.
I guess that's what people working in esports are known for is having money.
Yes, exactly. We're all just flush with cash here, on stage at the Hearthstone Winter Championships, the very first day. Not only that, but also revealed or announced the new expansion as well today, the Old Gods expansion. For you, what has this day been like, Reynad?
The thing about being talent or like casting these events, right, is I gotta hate waking up at 7 a.m. It's like really, you know, you go all week waking up at like 2 p.m. then the event happens, you have to wake up at 7, that's call time. It's a lot of downtime, right, for rehearsals, you're doing a lot of nothing, and it's like, this whole time I'm just thinking, oh, I could be streaming right now, I could be catching up on emails, like doing all this stuff, but the event's good, it's just, there's like a reason I don't cast too often, you know, just to try to do it for the big events. But it's good to be here, you know, like once we actually got into the casting, the games are cool, and I do enjoy it, so.
I like the idea that you're in the middle of a cast and you're like, I could be answering emails right now. Like,
I mean, I'm not looking forward to that, but it's like, I should be answering emails. The cast is just it's a more productive way to procrastinate than otherwise.
Yeah, how do you balance all of this stuff? Because you cast, you stream, you obviously manage the team, you got to do like business stuff. You know, do you sleep?
Yeah, too much. Honestly, I have great staff. A great assistant that helps me with a lot of the stuff that used to just eat up a lot of my day. Kathy, she does great work. There's a lot of great website staff that helps everything flow smoothly. All the teams have a great manager. All the teams are, you know, smart, like self-sufficient kids, so they don't need too much micromanaging. And it's just done a good job of like getting staff in order and making sure that everyone's like doing their job. So I can be kind of hands-off for periods of time, and everything will run fine.
You obviously cast this day, you got to see all the games. Any thoughts or any upsets or anything that really surprised you or stood out to you?
Yeah, Bill f***ed up bad. It was, man, I feel bad for the guy. I really wanted him to win. He was, Bill's playing Druid. He's in a winning position.
Yeah.
The other guy plays Jiraxis while he's behind on board. Most of the time you do this, you die, right? Because you're at 15 life, they have stuff, you're dead. But Bill doesn't have lethal, but he top decks Harrison Jones immediately, right? And he has a pretty full hand. So he just slams Harrison without thinking, because he wants to draw 8 cards.
Right.
But he didn't play cards out of his hand before the Harrison, so he basically burned a couple, which was one of his combo pieces that he needed to win the game. And then after that, proceeded to like make a play that I think was less of a big deal, even though it looked like a train wreck. Where he like killed a Doomsayer that was better to let it blow up. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure in tournament play, honestly. It's just like, man, that game was like, that was like the one line of play where he doesn't win. I'm just sitting there not like this, you know.
Just kind of tilting a little bit, just watching.
Yeah, well that wasn't the only, I mean there was a lot of games like that, but some people impressed me, some people played well. Chess Dude I think played really well. He got bodied 3-1, but he played well, so.
Yeah. And that happens sometimes.
That's Hearthstone, yeah, that's life.
That's Hearthstone.
It was good games, yeah, it was fun to watch.
Fun. We interviewed you a couple days ago whenever they did kind of the pre-announcement Whispers of the Old Gods events, but now that it's been announced, and you've had more time to think about it, any thoughts on that whole expansion announcement?
I mean, it's cool. It's always cool when new cards come out in Hearthstone, but it's like, I can't really give any detailed feedback on like, hey, is this card going to be good? What else do you think's in the set? Because they only showed us like 6 cards.
Right.
Only 3 of them sort of matter. And then like, of those 3, you still don't know how good they're going to be because you need to know the other 130 cards being released. And then you also need to know what cards they're changing from the classic set, right? Because there's going to be like a dozen nerfs.
Right.
So like a single card like Big Game Hunter getting changed is probably more influential on the metagame than like 50 cards being added to the game.
Right.
So until everything's there to get a complete picture, it's really hard to give like detailed feedback on. You'll get questions like that on stream all the time, like, oh, Reynad, what deck's going to be good? Like, is this warrior deck still going to be good in standard? And it's like, I don't.
Well, to be clear, I'm not asking you to predict which deck is.
Right. Your question's more like, what do you think of the set? It's cool. I'm excited. I like the theme. Cards seem flavorful. Blizzard devs are definitely getting better and better at making sets.
Right.
So.
What was your reaction to the announcement day? Because I know a lot of people were hoping, based on the way the adventure works, where it came out so quickly, we might see it sooner, especially now because obviously the format changes are tied to that expansion as well. You bummed that it's not earlier?
Yeah, I was really bummed, man. It gets hard to stream Hearthstone when it's like the end of a content cycle, because it's been months and months of like, since we only got like 40 cards or whatever League of Explorers was. It's just like when you're playing the game so many hours a day, it's not a game with like a level of depth like League or Dota or CS:GO. You can't just play it for 80 hours a week, and you get burned out faster is what I'm saying. Or you kind of like learn the metagame faster. So yeah, it sucks that it's gonna be another month and a half, but like I get it. It's the biggest change that's ever happened to Hearthstone. It's a huge set, a bunch of cool influential cards. The standard format's the biggest change that's ever happened.
Nerfs to old,
yeah, it'll be a huge change. So like, they're gonna use this time, I think, to just kind of like milk it for marketing. There's still 3 more old gods to reveal, so those are gonna be big. And yeah, it's overall Blizzard has their reasons, and I have faith that it seems like it's forever away, but it's not too long.
Yeah. Now finally, one of the biggest changes that we've seen in Hearthstone, not maybe on a meta level or anything like that, but famed caster and personality Frodan has moved in with you recently. I would love to get an idea of what that experience has been like for you.
Yeah.
What's going on behind the scenes, maybe an inside look at what that whole thing is like.
Yeah, all of the Twitch fan fiction for the past 2 years has finally come to fruition.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a pretty small place, right? The only other table's in the kitchen. So Dan set up his computer over there, the monitors. So spends his time in the kitchen. We're not dating, by the way. Fun fact. Dan, as far as I'm aware, is in fact heterosexual, contrary to popular belief on Twitch.
Okay.
Great guy though. I don't know. Like a lot of times we both travel a lot. We're not going to see each other too much anyway. But when we are there, he's trying to make me get a little bit better at Smash Melee.
Okay.
I was teaching him a bit of CS:GO.
So diversifying right now.
Yeah.
It's almost like a mini boot camp, esports boot camp.
Exactly. All right. One day I'm going to make an open team, work my way through the ranks of CS:GO.
And I'm sure you have a lot of different, apparel and clothing. Does he ever steal any of that clothing? Living together.
I'm a pretty big guy, man. Dan is like average height, but he's also very in shape. And I'm like a giant, and I'm very out of shape. So I don't think there's much we can share as far as clothing.
Yeah, I was just asking because I'm sure with all the clothing that you have in the house.
It's interesting you bring that up. I actually do have a lot of clothing in my house, more than most people.
Oh, okay.
It's because it's actually, I get most of it for 10% off using the code TEMPO
over
at store.tempostorm.com. So
I didn't realize that.
It's just so ridiculously affordable. How can you not end up with a bit of extra clothing? But no, Dan and I, because it's so affordable, do each have our own Tempo Storm merchandise to support our favorite and most handsome teams in esports. And that's really, that's why we don't have to share clothes too much, Dan's got his small jersey. I've got my my large Dark Skies hoodie available for $69.95.
Wow.
And
what a bargain. What?
That's before the 10% off, Travis.
Oh my gosh. The 10% kicks in? That is crazy.
It is.
Oh my God! This interview I think is just so informative. Like we're learning so much about Hearthstone from this.
I'm glad that we could take this time to really talk about the important things here at the winter preliminaries.
Yeah, exactly.
Mainly how we're dressed.
Really we're figuring out who's going to be headed to BlizzCon down the road, and also what opportunities are out there for apparel purchases. Is there anything else that you would like to say to any of your fans out there, Reynad?
I mean, apparel purchases are great, Travis, but this is esports. A lot of our fans are looking for wonderful peripherals, maybe a new mouse if yours craps out or something,
I mean, that's required when you're playing Hearthstone on the computer at least.
Fanaticgear.com, of course, for all of your peripheral needs. A great choice. What are you going to do with those peripherals, Travis?
I think play
games?
Yeah, play games.
It's a great place to buy those games.
Oh.
G2A.com.
Wow,
you can save 3% using the code TEMPO. And you can. If you're a fan of playing games, why not watch them over a wonderful website called twitch.tv.
Oh, wow. I just appreciate you letting me know about all these esports resources.
Hey, I appreciate you making wonderful esports content that I love reading about over at Yahoo Esports.
Yeah, Yahoo Esports, actually, brand new site, just recently launched. There's, if you go into the match thing on the site, there's a schedule that allows you to watch all these different VODs and matches.
Is every own match ticker? That's
people can go check it out. There's premium content. We're doing all this great coverage around different esports. We've got people producing stuff out of the studios. It's just been a fantastic time. So while you've got all that great stuff going on over there, we've got all this great stuff happening over here. So thank you so much for the interview.
Anytime, man.
For everyone else, this is Yahoo Esports.